broadcast, share it. Okay. Um, Today I'm going to be talking about communication, the do's and don'ts of communication in marriage and relationship. So this video is going to be helpful to you, even if you're single, even if you're married. Communication is important. It's more like the fuel in the car of marriage. Physically, when you're driving a car, the car can't move without fuel. The same is applicable to marriage. No marriage can do well without communication. So, as important as communication is to marriage, so many people find it very difficult to communicate with their wife or their husband. Some people find it difficult to communicate to their fiancé or the person they want to marry. If you have not mastered the art of communication in your relationship or marriage, there's no way your marriage can thrive. The same way fish cannot survive without water, no marriage can survive without communication. So let's see how you can communicate. Before we go to the do's and don'ts, I want to tell us the importance of communication, okay? The first importance of communication in marriage is that communication is used in resolving conflicts. I want to know where you're watching me from. Please drop it in the comment section. I don't know why. Let's remove this so that we can see ourselves very well. Okay. If you're on Facebook, share this video. When you share it, you comment. Done. So I was talking about how the importance of communication. I said that communication is used in resolving conflict. So many people don't know that one of the easiest way to talk or resolve conflict is through dialogue. Okay, I'm connected live on YouTube too, so you can join YouTube live. Is to is through dialogue. So most people have a breakdown in their marriage or their relationship because they don't know how to talk when they're having issues. Okay, so that's part of what I'm going to be teaching us. I can see you all are sharing. Love you all. So communication is used in resolving conflict. The second thing communication does in your relationship is that it brings understanding. It brings understanding. Have you ever wondered how in school, when your teacher is teaching you in school, they communicate to you because they want you to understand some certain things. And after communicating to you or teaching you, you end up understanding what they are teaching you. So no relationship, there's no way you can understand each other when you don't know how to communicate. So lack of understanding in relationship can be traced to breakdown in communication. If you want to perfect understanding, you have to perfect communication. So this topic is very, very important. I teach it very deeply in my premarital course. So I'm just giving you the surface of what communication is. It's very, very wide. Another importance of communication in marriage and in relationship. Okay, I can see you people on YouTube. Drop your location, then share this video. Mention someone to come and join. When you share it, comment done. Okay. Another importance of communication in marriage is that it is used in expressing your thoughts. Do you know that there are so many people in marriage who are not able to express what they are feeling? Do you know that it took communication for you to get that person you are married to today or the person you are dating? You are so good at organizing your words, your scope. Sometimes you read letters to send you read cards to send text message. Either ways, in this life, there is nothing you can do without communication. So another thing communication does is that it is used to express your thoughts and your feelings. And it may surprise you to know that so many people don't even know how to use communication to express their thoughts and their feeling in relationship. So this topic is very wide. It may have part 2, it may have part 3, I don't know, but let's see how far we go with it. So one thing, the key point for tonight's broadcast is this: when you stop communicating or when you stop talking, it is guaranteed that your problem can't be solved anytime soon. And most problems in marriage can be traced down to lack of communication. So let's go quickly to the do's of communication. What do I mean by the do's of communication? How do you communicate effectively in your relationship and marriage? Since communication is so important to your marriage and your relationship. Now, in relationship and in marriage, the best way to communicate, number one, is to use a calm and a gentle tone. Do you know that the tone you use in communicating a message across to your wife or your husband can change the meaning of the message? You may be communicating something very good and choose to use a harsh or an aggressive tone. What it does is that it changes the message you're trying to pass across. Nobody wants to be shouted at, and nobody wants you to nag at them, be it a man or a woman. And men especially find it very offensive when you don't check your tone. Everybody, even children, they find it very offensive when you don't check your tone when you are talking to them. I have people on this table who always say my voice is naturally loud. When I talk, I shout. So you have to be used to it. You have to get used to it. You just have to take it. No, it doesn't work that way. The tone of a message can change the meaning of a message. So try as much as you can when communicating to your partner. Of course, communication is a two-way thing. It has to do with talking and listening. So try as much as you can when you are communicating to your partner to check the tone you use. And most times when people are angry, they are not able to correct the tone they use when they are communicating with the person. So what you need to do is, if you feel that at that angry state, when you want to communicate to your partner, or when you want to express yourself, you want to explain yourself to your partner, you will yell. Calm down, take a deep breath, and think before you say anything you want to say. Tone is very important. It can make anybody miss a message you are trying to pass across. And this is not just peculiar to marriage, it is applicable to every other relationship in your life. Your relationship with your boss, your relationship with the people around you, your relationship with the people you work with, everything. So one of the do's of communication is check your tone properly when communicating. Please be dropping it in the comment section. And if this is your first time watching me, let me know. The second do's of communication in relationship, what I mean by do's is how to communicate. The second do's of communication is describe specific behavior. Okay? Describe specific behavior and how they make you feel. Have you ever seen people that beat around the bush when they want to talk? They are trying to address money. They'll talk about food. They'll talk about intimacy. They'll talk about family. They'll talk about society. I was in a program somewhere, and somebody was trying to ask a question, just one question. The person was beating around the bush. I understood clearly where the person was coming from, but the person maybe lacked expression or didn't just know how best to express it. The person was not specific with what they were supposed to say. The person was not specific. So when you are talking with your partner, be specific. Okay, stop beating around the bush. Be specific about their behavior and how that particular behavior makes you feel. For instance, if what you are not comfortable with in your relationship is the fact that the person keeps late nights, you be specific about it. I feel going out late. Don't come and be telling us the things the person is doing, the things the person is not doing right. Go straight to the point. Learn to tell people how you feel. And there is a way you can say that without hurting them or bringing them down. So be specific about what you want to talk about. If it's school fees you want to talk about, don't start by saying, I don't like how the only thing you provide in this house is food. You give me money for every other thing, but when it comes to school fees, you don't. First timers, you're welcome. When it comes to school fees, you don't pay. No, go straight. If school fees is the problem, be specific and make the person you are talking to understand how you feel. Number 3, use I language instead of you. When you are communicating with your husband or your wife or your fiancé, use I language instead of you. Let me give you an example of what I mean by I language. Instead of saying, you never take me out, you are always rude, you are loud, you are dirty. Instead of saying you are, instead of using the you word, when you come and when you begin a communication by using you word, you come off as accusing the person. So when you are starting a conversation, anytime you say you, the person feels accused. And the next thing the person will want to do is defend. The person wants to be defensive instead of really decoding what you're saying. So instead of saying you are rude, you are this, you are that, you can start the communication by saying, I feel you don't spend time with me anymore. I feel you don't like to communicate. Don't say you don't like to communicate, because when you use that you don't like, they'll begin to think about times they do those things. They'll begin to think about times they've done those things you say you don't or you never do. So instead of using the you language and you sound accusing, it's better you say, I feel you are this. I feel you are not as romantic as you used to be. It's a feeling I have, but I'm not sure. But you don't use I feel you don't do the things you used to do before. So it's going to look like you are putting yourself you're putting the blame on yourself. And when the person sees like that, you are not accusing them, they will not feel like to defend. Okay, so use the I word instead of you. So if you're just joining on Facebook, share this video, okay, and comment down. First timers, we are talking about communication, the do's and the don'ts of communication. Now, another do's of communication, what I mean by do's is another way you can communicate with your wife or your husband is to listen attentively without interrupting them when they are talking. So communication is a two-way thing. It's about talking and listening, okay? I talk, I wait for the other person to talk, and I listen. So when you are the only one talking in that communication, it's a problem. And let me tell you what that will lead to. When you are the only one talking, okay, then your partner will become dismissive. Number 2, suddenly they will stop communicating because they feel, what's the need? Whenever I want to talk to this person does not allow me talk. It's either they take charge of the communication, they are the only ones talking, or when I'm talking, they like to interrupt. So if you're the type of person that likes to interrupt people or your spouse when they are talking, you don't allow them express themselves, you don't allow them explain things they want to explain to you, you just interrupt them, you discourage them from communicating with you. So communication too is not just about talking and talking. It's about listening, okay? Listen as much as you can so that you can understand. Because what is the need of communicating if at the end of the day we don't end up understanding each other? Let me tell you why some people dodge communication. They dodge communication because it always leads to arguments. And the reason why it leads to argument is because there is no understanding. So when there is no understanding, communication becomes very difficult, and it happens when you don't allow the other person to talk. You take charge of the communication and nobody understands anything. You just want to talk. Another do's of communication, how to communicate in marriage or relationship, is you need to express what you need. Do you know that it's possible to talk to your partner? Okay? So it's possible to talk to your partner, and at the end of the day, you don't end up expressing what you need. The person will not understand you. The person will not get where you are coming from because you lack expression. We have different types of styles of communication that I teach in my counseling school, marriage counseling school. I may not touch on that this evening, but there is a kind of communication where people lack expression. So how do you work on communication? YouTube, right? So how do you work on expressing? How do you work on expressing communication and you are understood? Go straight and express what you need. Tell the person you are communicating with your future expectation. What do you want to achieve with this communication? The reason why I woke you up is that I think we should start praying together as a family. This is you telling the person you are talking to your future expectation. I want you to be more understanding. I want you to listen to me more. I want you to be more available. I want you. So, communication is about expressing your feeling. When you are not able to express your feelings, you are not always, you are not getting it right. Somebody says, my husband always complains about my tone when expressing myself. Yes, that's because he has a problem with it. And that's why I started with the tone. Try to use a calm and a gentle tone when you are communicating, okay? So, that's another do, okay? Another do's of communication is another dose of communication. I wanted to really add this one. Oh, I didn't write it down, but while I was talking, the thing came back. Don't worry, when I remember, I'm going to let you know. Another do of communication is don't be selfish. Okay? Your mind should be open to understand where your partner is coming from. You make communication difficult when you don't accept your fault. Did that ring? So many people have reached me when I'm doing couples counseling. One of the major problems I have with couples is when one person is not accepting their fault, no matter what the other person tries to say, even when they are at fault. Somebody is saying, help me change my tone. It's your job to do. I can't change your tone for you. Just learn to be reducing your voice when you are talking. You don't have to shout for the other person to hear. And let me tell you one major reason why some people nag. Some people nag because they don't feel heard in the relationship. So they feel the only way that they can let their voice to be heard in that relationship is to shout. So you don't need to necessarily shout. So most times, some people are frustrated. That's why they shout when they don't feel heard or listened to. That's why they shout. Now let's go to the don'ts of communication. I've already told you the do's. Now let's go to the don'ts. If you are communicating, number one, don't criticize. You know, so many people find it very difficult to have a matured conversation with their wife or their husband without criticizing their partner. Now, what do I mean by criticizing? You are never a nice person. You have never done anything for me in this relationship. You know, there are people that can criticize. They can criticize everything. You know, you can't please them. Everything you do, they can criticize. So never start a conversation by criticizing that person. When you start a conversation by criticizing, you kill the conversation before it begins. Well, how do you feel? Please, in the comment section, let's be sincere. Drop comments. How do you feel when somebody is talking to you and the person is criticizing you? Please share this video. It will help so many people. How do you feel? You are talking, somebody is talking to you. What kind of emotions do you feel whenever you are criticized? You are sad, right? So you don't want this person to be sad now that you don't want this person to be sad now that you are communicating with them, because when this person is already sad, even before the communication begins, you lose the person's attention. Okay, so never criticize somebody, especially when you know that the information you want to pass across is important. Do you know that most times our husband and wives do things that deserves criticism? Okay, we just want to criticize them because the fact is this: they will not always act well, they will not always live up to our expectations. So I'm not saying that they are not doing things that will not make you criticize them. You will surely criticize them, of course you will, but you don't have to start by criticizing. So what I suggest most times is I tell people to um start the conversation with appreciation. If you want to get the attention of the person you are communicating with, start by saying, I like how you do this. I like that. I like how you are this. I like how you know, when the person feels appreciated, they are more interested in what you want to say. Then you now continue by saying, but I feel you are lacking behind in this area. If it's something we could work on, I would really appreciate it because I don't feel happy. Can you say I'm feeling the I don't feel instead of you don't make me happy? Instead of saying you don't make me happy, you can say I don't feel happy. So start the conversation by first appreciating the person. When the person feels appreciated, they are happy and they give attention to that communication. Okay, so don't start any conversation by criticizing. Nobody wants to be criticized, either men or women. Share this video if you are just joining. Number two, use always. Don't use always or never. Don't use always or never. You are always, you are always, you are always snubbing me. You are always rude. You are always this. You are always that. You never do this. You never do that. When communicating, avoid that two words because it rules out a person's effort completely. So what the person starts feeling at the end of the day is, I don't do anything. This person does not appreciate me at all. This person does not feel like I do anything. So when you use the word you never or you are always like this, it is not a good word to use when communicating in relationship. Another thing you must not do is don't be harsh. Ah, God. Some people are so harsh. And most times when they are talking, it looks like they are talking to a nobody. Do you know what you do when you are very harsh with your tone when you are talking to somebody? Or especially when you're talking to your husband or your wife. When you are harsh, you are making them feel like they are nothing. You make them feel like somebody who is inconsequential. You make them feel, you devalue them when you are harsh. You know, when somebody is harsh, what they are trying to do is sometimes, and some people think that by being harsh they'll be heard. Some people feel by being harsh they can put fear in the other person. Your partner is not supposed to fear you, they're only supposed to respect you. So being harsh will not make them do anything. I want to ask you a simple question. Since you have been harsh, okay, since you have been harsh with your tone when communicating with your wife or husband, has that changed anything? Instead, if it is a man you are harsh towards, you know what the man will do? He will continue doing that thing you are telling him to stop to do, to prove to you that he's not afraid of you, and that you being harsh cannot stop him from doing anything. So when you are very, very harsh, when you are aggressive, you are trying to put fear, and people don't change because they are afraid. So instead of putting fear by being harsh, you make them see reasons with you. And let me tell you one of the good ways that you can get people to do what you want them to do. Tell them what they stand to gain when they do that thing. Everybody naturally navigates to a place where they have something to gain from. So most times people just communicate to their partner without telling them what they will gain from it. Tell them the advantages of not spending late nights. Tell them what they will gain when the both of you start spending time together. Tell them what they will gain when you people maybe go on vacation. You can tell them that, do you know Let's say, for instance, let me tell you how we talk to a busy husband. Maybe the man is so busy. Some people will complain that, Mama, my husband does not have time at all. He's always on his system. He's always working. When he comes back, he's tired. He doesn't have time to talk. He doesn't have time to play. He doesn't have time to do whatsoever. He's very busy, right? You know what you will do? Let me tell you, I'll talk to my husband if he's very busy and he doesn't want to rest. I just do, baby, can't you work so hard? Wow. I wish every man in this world works like you. The world would be a better place. But I discovered, baby, do you know that the way people are slumping and they are dying these days? I'll say, can you see how people will just stand, slump and die? I had to do research, oh. And they say part of what makes people die, people have this cardiac arrest, is stress. When people don't rest, it can kill them. The man will say, you don't mean it. So stress can kill somebody. Yes, now, I'm telling you, baby. So I think you should try as much as you can to be resting. Oh. You know, we can even go on vacation to just go and relax, rest. You see all this work. Even if you die today, the office will just continue. So I feel you should be giving some time to rest, some time for rest, because you're important to me and you're important to this family. So I feel it's very important. Do you know that you are telling him the benefits of the rests? You want him to rest. Now, see the way I just did it now. Let me do it the other way. Marry your job. Marry your job, oh. Shebi, that is the only thing you know how to do. You work, you don't have my time. You are always busy. You see the word always. You never spend time with me. You never take me out. You are like this. You are like that. Now, in the comment section, let's be very sincere. Look at the way I just talked. Please share this video. It will help somebody. Compare these two conversations I just spoke. Which one do you think is more appropriate when communicating to your husband or your wife? Is it the first one or the second one? Is it the first one or the second one? David Ban said, Madam, my question is it true that most therapists are passing through hell in their marriage? I can't really say, because my own marriage is peaceful. Very, very peaceful. So I can't say about other therapists, but I believe people should not teach what they don't practice. Mine is very sweet, like sugar and honey mixed together. That doesn't mean some of them may not have their challenges, but I believe they would have a way to navigate it. It's not every therapist that is having marital problems. Okay? All right, let's continue. So everybody is saying the first one. It's just one person that is saying the second one. You never. But I can tell you that the first one is the most important way you can communicate your feelings and you get the person to listen. Somebody said the second one go land you slap. Let me tell you what the second one will even land you. The man will tell you that all this thing I'm doing, is it not for you? What am I bringing the money for? Is it not for family? But look at the first one. You put in front his health. You put in front what he will benefit from resting and spending time. You can even say it's been a while. I miss those days where we used to spend time together. Can we go out on a date? It's simple. Not that you never have my time. You are always this. You are always busy. So there is a way to communicate. When you don't communicate that way, that's when people have problems in their marriage or their relationship. So you can see that it is the first one that is the correct one. Another way not to communicate, another don'ts of communication is, okay, don't hide your feelings and your desire. Don't hide your feelings and your desire. So in as much as you don't want to hurt the other person you are talking to, or your husband or your wife or your fiancé, in as much as you don't want to hurt them, you can't be hurting yourself by not communicating how you feel. When you don't communicate your feelings or your desire, most times your partner don't even know how they can please you. Your partner is not God. One day I posted something on Facebook. I talked about how when you don't communicate a need to your partner, don't expect them to do it. Somebody came and commented that no, you don't have to communicate your need. The person should know you well enough. The person should know you well enough to understand you. You don't have to tell him before he knows what he will do. Even you. Do you know everything you should do for your partner? The reason why you should communicate what you want is because this person will treat you the way he knows best. This person, she will treat you the way she knows best. The only way she will treat you the way you want to be treated is when you communicate how you want to be treated. So most times people don't communicate how they want to be treated, and they expected to be treated in that way. Somebody says, I'm having difficulty in communicating physically. How do I overcome that? Communicate anyway. Know that nobody kills you for communicating. And know that you can never get what you want by being silent. So talk. So talking is not the problem. Some people say, okay, I don't want to express myself. I don't want to communicate my need because I don't feel the need to, because I don't want to be misunderstood. So many people choose silence over being misunderstood. So many people choose silence over problem. It's better to talk. Because when you don't talk, nobody will understand you and nobody will do the right thing. So don't hide your feelings and your desires, because you are human too. Tell them how you feel. Tell them the things you desire. Tell them how you want to be treated. The most important thing is how you tell them. It is even worse when you are not communicating your feelings than you communicate not. It is worse when okay, let me just say it is worse when you are not communicating. And do you know that this communication thing is very wide? Research has it that I think about 90-something% of communication is non-verbal communication. Yes, either 97%, 94% of communication or 93% of communication is non-verbal communication. So communication is not even about talking. Your action communicates to people. How you behave communicates to people. Your posture communicates to people. Your eye communicates to people. Do you know that I can be talking to you and I know you are not interested in the conversation by your body language, your countenance and everything? So you can be communicating to people with your body language. So it's very important. Imagine somebody talking to you, which is going to take me to the next point. Don't be distracted. Don't do two things at a time. When somebody calls you up for a conversation, or when your husband or your wife is talking to you, especially about issues important, don't be this person. And the person is saying, I'm talking to you. You say, I can hear you now. Talk. Is it not ear somebody used to hear? Have you met those kind of people? See, it discourages the other person and it makes that person feel like they don't have your attention. So what do you do? Instead of pressing your phone and the person is talking, because the fact is this, most times a human brain cannot do two things at a time. So you are just pressing your phone. What a normal person should do is you drop your phone and make the person feel like they have your attention. Give them your attention and listen when they are talking. So, and how do you do that? You do that by giving eye contact. If you want to off the TV, off it. If you need to drop your laptop, drop it and face the person talking to you. It makes them feel like they have your attention. So don't be distracted when somebody is talking to you. Focus on them so that they can feel that they have your attention. This can be applicable to you when you're relating with people in your business. It can be applicable when you're relating with anybody. Trust me, nobody wants to feel neglected when they are talking to you. So somebody says it's so irritating. Share this video if you're on Facebook and you've not shared. Another don't of communication, it means another way not to communicate. Are you sharing at all? And if it's your first time, please tell me where you're watching me from. I need somebody to be dropping all these points. It's so important because some people are just joining. Hello, YouTube. I'm live on YouTube too. And if you're on Instagram, you're not, if you're on Facebook, you're not following my YouTube channel, you're missing a lot. Tomorrow, I'm going to be posting a YouTube video. What's the title? Okay, when you're not just feeling love in your marriage anymore, or when you're not feeling love for your partner. It happens sometimes in marriage. There are times you feel like you are not feeling love for somebody, or your husband or your wife. What do you do when you are not feeling love? I'm posting that video on YouTube tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, run there now and subscribe. YouTube videos are shorter, especially the ones that are not streamed live. They are shorter than the ones we have on Facebook. So go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. The YouTube name is Beauty Akpai. Beauty Akpai. Who is this one? Who is this Evans Jesse? He says you people come talk about, oh, how do you know their own has problem? Definitely this one is not supposed to be here. Should we escort him out? Yes, I've escorted him out. Do you see how negative people can be? You know, it's funny how people don't even believe that there are good marriages again. Please don't be deceived though. There are marriages that are still very good. Very, very good. Forget about the divorce cases you are hearing everywhere. There are people whose marriages are successful. I just escorted that person out. We don't need negative people here. All right. Another don't of communication is arguments. You guys are not in court. Okay, you guys are not in court. Avoid argument as much as possible. When people discover that every time they talk to you, it ends in arguments, they get discouraged from talking to you. Another thing you must understand about this argument of a thing is that you people may not agree on the same thing. Some things may make sense to you and may not make sense to your wife. Some things may make sense to the wife and may not make sense to the husband. What do? You don't have to argue. Just find a common ground. Because one thing is sure, there are people who are married today who don't agree on everything. What I agree on may not be what my husband agrees on. But they are able to find a common ground on other aspects, and they are able to live their life peacefully. So the fact that the both of you does not agree on things does not mean you start arguing. It's very childish. It's possible to have it's possible to be married to each other, and maybe you people have different football club. It's called, I don't know if it's called, no, not intellectual intimacy. It's called social intimacy, whereby, let's say two of you are married. You have different football club. I'm Chelsea. My husband is Manchester. We are talking and we are arguing about which one is the best team. Of course, you all know it's Chelsea. Now, you now say Chelsea. This other person say, no, it's Manchester. Some people can start quarreling. No, have you seen people that quarrel from movies, from just watching movies together with their partner? This one say, what this man did is bad. The husband will say, no, the man is not bad. It's the wife that is wrong. It means socially you are not intimate. That's why you should come to my premarital class and learn all these things. We teach different levels of intimacy. So when people have attained some level of intimacy, you will discover that misunderstanding is minimized. Argument becomes minimized. So it's important to grow. And the only way to grow is by communicating. Somebody says, what if you communicate and... Okay, somebody said, I think I will prefer YouTube. Yes, YouTube is sweet. It's not as noisy as Facebook. Even if Facebook is dealing with me this period, I don't know why they are limiting my reach. They are dealing with me. So I'm going to be more on YouTube. All of you should come and be going to YouTube now. Be going to YouTube to subscribe. Okay? In case you don't see me on Facebook again. Somebody say when I watch Acrimonial. Okay. So the thing is this. Most times you may not agree on everything. But when you have social intimacy, when the both of you are intimate socially, all those small things cannot cause you people misunderstanding, okay? Another thing, another don't of communication, please share this video. Share this video. Another don't of communication. Which one is acrimony again? I have to watch. Oh, trust me, I'm so busy that I don't have time to watch movies. All right, so avoid arguing. Another don't of communication is using abusive words. It only shows you have no respect for your partner. You don't have to abuse them when you are talking to them. There are some people that you can't even have conversations with them. Even jokingly, you that you are so useless. You know, they are so full of insultive words. They insult. Don't insult your partner, no matter how tempted you are. Do you know that most times, we are going to be very sincere. Thank you for joining, Daniel from Dubai. I'm going to be very sincere. Do you know that most times our partner is even deserving of some of those insults we feel like giving them sometimes? Because first, this insult is going to come to your mind first before it comes out of your mouth. And this is the junction where I tell people that you must not really say the things you feel in your mind when it is insulting, when you know that this thing, when you say it, because some people will be looking for words that they will even use, especially when people are resolving conflicts. Some people will be looking for words that when they use, it will pain their partner very well. Their partner will be feeling hurt. That's the kind of words some people will be looking for. But it is not right. There are better ways to do that. You must not see. One thing my husband and I has been very careful of since we got married 10 years ago is not to use insultive words, no matter how angry we are or how angry we get, because sometimes he annoys me and I annoy him too. But we've learned to just sit down and talk without necessarily using abusive words. I have never use abusive words on my husband. So it's very possible, and he has not done that to me either. It's very possible for you not to use abusive words. Even when you are angry, is it not your mouth you use to talk? You have to control the things that comes out of your mouth. The people will say, Kai, you are very stupid. Like, how can somebody be so, like, really? You know, you don't blame some people because they grew up to see these insultive words as a normal thing. They could see their father using it on their mother, and they've seen their mother use it on their father. So it looks like something very normal. Something very normal. They say things like, you are very, very useless. You be mumune. And some people grew up in the slums. So insult is like a normal thing to them because the environment they grew up polluted their words. You see them say things like you fuck up, oh, what did they worry you? They mad, you they crazy, you know. I remember a couple that reached out to me, and the wife was like, the wife, the wife was like, my husband does not say anything without insulting me. And the man didn't say anything wrong with it though. The man says things like, I've not seen myself insulting you. These are normal words we use in Warri. I grew up in Warri. So these words are normal. So it took me a while. Somebody say mental people. Yes, it took me a while to actually explain to the man that insultive words, no matter how you paint them, are insults. They are not love. No be scope you dey give the woman. No be love say you dey talk. This one na insult you dey insult, and the thing is very clear say na insult you dey insult the woman. Why you go come dey cover and say no be insult? You are stupid na insult. Leave am like that. Or you dey mad na insult. So don't paint it to be what it's not. So don't use abusive words, no matter exactly how tempted you are. That's why I tell people that the environment where your children even grow up is very important. Some children, they grew up hearing their parents call them, you be good, you no get sense, you dey mad, wetin dey worry you sef, you dey very stupid. We try as much as we can, no matter how our children provokes us, not to use I have never. We don't insult them. The ones I can tell my daughters when they annoy me is, what is wrong with you? In fact, there was a day I mistakenly told one that, what kind of stupid behavior? Is the behavior I call stupid? I didn't say you are stupid. Oh. You see the kind of one where their papa caught me. Their papa said, in your life, never, ever, ever. That was the first time my husband caught me warning since we got married. Never ever insult any of my pikin. I say, but Oga, yes, I used to call him Oga like that sometimes. I say, Oga, I no call am stupid. Now the thing where he do stupid. He say no. Anything that has to do with them, associated with them. You know why? He doesn't want them to grow up with it. So normalize using please. Normalize using sorry. Normalize using I understand. Normalize using I have heard you. No be say person go finish talk to you, just don't. You don't finish. You just carry water. You stand up and walk away. Abba, for God's sake. That is not how to communicate. In fact, one of the ways to make somebody know that you understand what they finish saying to you is you tell them, you mention all the things they've said. You say things like, okay, you said you want me to help organize the house. You said you don't like how I keep late nights. You said you want us to spend time together. See, when you are saying this, the person that just talked to you, will be feeling somebody says don't be silly or don't be stupid and insult. Anyhow, na insults. Anyhow, na insults. So like I was saying, thank you, Adini. So don't be feeling what was I saying? So that I just saw that. Okay, yes, the person will be feeling like you understood everything. The person will feel like you understood everything they just said to you. When you are able to list out everything they said, they'll feel happy. Instead of leaving the conversation, some people even walk away. Please don't walk away. Don't walk out on someone. Don't walk out on someone when they are still talking. It's very rude and very disrespectful to do. Have you seen people like that? I told you people now, when my husband and I got married, in the early years of our marriage, I told, if you follow me very well on YouTube, I posted about, I'm going to start doing lifestyle on my YouTube very soon, whereby you see how we run our daily activities in my house. I'm going to be doing it. Somebody says it's not that clear on Facebook. If it's not clear on Facebook, well, migrate to YouTube and watch it. All right. So I posted, please join my premarital class, Henrietta. You will learn a lot. When we got married, I think I did the video about that. It was me and my husband that did that video, our first misunderstanding in marriage, where I told you people that as a struggling couple, my husband bought goat for Christmas, and we quarreled on Christmas Day. My husband bought goat for Christmas, and I don't know that the way he used to do it before he married me was that during Christmas, when they kill the goats, they just sit down and eat it, okay? They sit down, finish the goat, eat it all without reserving any. And me knowing our financial status by then, okay, me knowing our financial status as then, I wanted to reserve some meat, okay? So I just gave him and his friends and his family members that came around few of the meat, and I was thinking of frying the rest to keep. Maybe after Christmas we'll still have meat to eat because we no get money. That's how my husband came. I gave them first round. Please post the link. Please, those of you that want to join premarital class, they'll post the link now so that you join. We are starting on 29th of this month, okay? It's online. If you want to register, my PA will post the link now. You click on it to send a WhatsApp message to join. So my husband came to the kitchen. He said, babe, what's happened? Where the remaining meat? I said, which meat? I thought I just gave you people meat. I thought I just gave you people meat now to eat. Please post the link. They're asking how to join. He now said, can you give me the meat? I said, no, I'm not giving you that meat. You want to finish all the meat with your family members. So he was now thinking that it's about family members, not knowing that I was reserving meat because I know we don't have money. It's only on Christmas Day we see goat meat to eat. When we got married, what is goat meat that we even know? It's only Christmas we eat chicken or goat. So when I saw it, I wanted to preserve it very well. And so the man take verse. So we started quarreling in the kitchen. But our voice was down because people were in the parlor. He said, give me the meat. I said, no, I don't want to give you. You know what he did? He held my hand and we went to the bedroom. That was how we started arguing. Why I'm the man of this house? Why will I ask you to bring meat for us to eat? And you will say you will not bring the meat. And me, I say, in my own family, please join premarital class if you can. Because let me tell you, you see that early stage of marriage, the both of you are bringing different understandings into the marriage. You are bringing different orientations. You are bringing two different upbringing. You are bringing two different experience. So it takes God for you people to build understanding when you are in the marriage. That is why part of the course I teach in my premarital class is how to sustain love in marriage. So when we entered, and I say in my own family, we don't finish all the goat meat on Christmas Day. My mother will dry some and will be using it to do soup subsequently. He now said, but is it not me that bought this goat with my money? I'm like, your money? Oh, the two has become one. It has become our money. So while he was talking, I got angry. I was going to walk out on him. Okay? Who be me where even know say walking out na bad thing? I didn't just want to hear anything. It was after that thing I realized that even walking out was not good because I married young. So when I entered, I was at the door. He said, if you open that door. I said, will you beat me? He said, no. But just open that door. This time we didn't know how to communicate though. I just posted the link for premarital class, please. If you have not joined, you can click on that link to get the details about registration because we are starting the one for this month on 29th. That's not what you'll meet. You'll learn a lot. You know what I did? I walked slowly from that door. Even when one mind was telling me, go out, he will do nothing. The other mind was telling me, don't walk out on him, it's disrespectful. So I chose to listen to the voice that said, go and sit down. That's why I know that when you are angry, it's possible to hear the voice of the Holy Spirit, and the devil too will be speaking to you at the same time. That one that says, calm down. That voice that says, don't talk to him this way. That one that says, don't insult her back. Is the voice of the Holy Spirit. See, the devil will only tell you to do things that will aggravate the situation. So whenever people are having misunderstanding and you keep hearing a voice that tells you to do something contrary. Okay, Naji says she joined our single sisters class. Hey wives, do you know that we are doing wives roundtable next month? I'm going to talk a little about that when I'm done with talking. So when, you know what I did? I went back, I sat down. Immediately, my husband started laughing. He was like, I was thinking you will walk out on me. He said, but this thing you just did, you earned my respect because I can see that you are very angry and you still chose to not walk out on me. You chose to come back and you sat down quietly. Since that day, I don't think we've ever had any misunderstanding that was so heated like that one. It was my first experience. I was just a young wife and I was just trying to do the right thing. And my husband was just trying to have his way as usual. I'm trying to tell you that when the both of you come to a point where you master how to communicate, some problems you have, you will not have. And most times when you are communicating, don't let your ego in. Because your ego begins to tell you that you deserve this kind of thing. This person is not supposed to say this. Please, it's not a WhatsApp group. You are registering for premarital class. I'm seeing message that please join me to WhatsApp group. It's not a WhatsApp group. You are registering for premarital class. After your registration, you'll be added. Okay? So you just have to know that this ego will come and you will have to crush the ego. You crush it. And most times, be careful and be intentional about saying only things that are good. And that's why the Bible talks about your words being seasoned with salt. Now, when you season something with salt, what does it do? It kills the germs on that thing. Okay? And what does salt do again? Salt adds taste to your food. So you just discover that this thing I'm saying How is it going to edify my wife? How is it going to edify my husband? How is it going to make our relationship better? Because a word, one word, am I not in this field? And have I not met so many couples? I'll tell you that a word, registration is just 5,000 naira. I'll tell you that one word can make two people divorce. Just one. If devil use that one word, throw it up and down, mix it with pepper, mix it with salt, mix it with Maggi, and cooks a good meal. When the devil is after your marriage, he just needs a word from you. Just one negative word, and you regret that word for the rest of your life. See, words go deep down to your heart and your emotion. And I tell people, be careful of the things you say when you are angry, because the moment may pass, but that word may remain. Anytime your partner hears that particular word, it begins to injure them. It injures their hearts. It injures. Yes, the link is for personal message. It injures their feeling. Sometimes it brings down their self-esteem. Your words in your relationship should be used to build up, okay? Not to tear down. Because trust me, words are capable of tearing down. I've told you people my story when I gave birth to my second baby and I came back home and I was feeling so low because of the stretch marks on my tummy and how big my tummy was. I looked in front of the mirror and I'm like, God, is this how my career just ended? See how big my tummy is from just being pregnant. And of course, it was CS. So, you know, you can't tie your tummy. You can't use hot water like they do in Africa here. And I stood in front of the mirror. I was telling myself, wow, so this is just where all my shakara, all the shakara I've invested in myself, all my younger and guy, now where I finished be this. I heard my husband from my background, just one word. He said, you are beautiful the way you are. Do you know the sacrifice of bringing a baby into the world? I'm not complaining. Your stomach is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. That was all. That word crushed. It crushed that negative feeling I was having. So it's possible for your words to build up. Your partner take you seriously. You call them short. It hurts their self-esteem. You call them fat. It hurts them. You can say, let's take a walk. Let's walk on this weight. It's not healthy. Instead of saying, see how fat you are, see how short you are. You are too tall. Hey, see how person black. I've told you now that most times the people you love believe what you say to them. Okay? They believe what you say to them. Either when you do it sarcastically or when you do it or when you say it seriously. The link is pinned down below. You see Treasure Dauda. Just click on the link to send message. So wives, I have a good news for you. If you're a married woman in the house, so once in a year we do our night out online. It's a singles seminar. I will love to have you people next month. Okay, registration is on. It's called the Wives Round Table. It's the same price as the premarital class, but it's just one night. Okay, is for one night. Please try as much as you can to join online. You click on that link below to send a message. I have a lot to tell you people. Okay, try as much as you can to register. The link for premarital class is below. Click on it. Since it's online, you can join from any country in the world. Okay, it's online. Use the link below to send a message. Say I want to join wives class, or I want to do premarital class. Single people, you can just say premarital. The married women is strictly for married women. We'll talk about everything down to sex, everything. Parenting too is part of what we'll be talking about in this year's edition, because parenting is more difficult in this era than premarital class is for 3 days. Premarital class is just 3 days online. It's starting 29th to 1st of June. So try as much as you can to join. Then another daunt of communication is being focused on winning. Don't be so focused on winning. And when you are focused on winning, it means you are not seeing it as the both of you communicating. You are seeing it as an argument. So communication and argument are two different things. Okay? Communication and argument are two different things. Please, if you want to join the wives class, it's either you send me an inbox or use that link down, Treasure Dauda. You see a link below the comment section, press it, it will take you to WhatsApp. When it takes you to WhatsApp, just send the message, I want to join the wives class. I may bring somebody to talk to you people. I may choose to do it alone. I'm still thinking about it. But I don't know if we can cover all we need to cover in one day because of the parenting. If we can't cover all we need to cover in one day, we are going to do it for 2 days. Wives class is online. Wives class is online. So when you send the message, say, I want to join the wives class, add me to the waiting list. So when I add you to the waiting group, in that group is where I will send you all the information about the class. So I will encourage every married woman to join. Like I said, I don't know what is wrong with my Facebook page. Some people say they are not getting notifications when I come live. Please turn on my post notification, or always engage my post when you see it. Click on it, drop a comment, like, share it. That way Facebook will show you more of my post, okay? And I will encourage you to follow other social media handles because of what Facebook is doing. Follow my YouTube, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram. Other social media handles are Beauty Akpai, Beauty AKPAI. But I'll encourage you to join all these classes I just announced. No knowledge is a waste, okay? No knowledge is waste. If you want to book for one-on-one session, you can go to beautyakbai.com to book for a session. I'll see you all on Friday. Then good news, everybody. Can you see Oyindamola said I didn't get the notification today? Thank God for YouTube. I don't know what's wrong with Facebook. Please, you know what you do? Just come live on Facebook every Monday and Wednesday, 8 o'clock. You will see me live. Then this we are adding another one to it. It's called the Women's Corner. We are going to be having live sessions for women every Friday on this Facebook page and on my YouTube channel called Wives Corner. So try as much as you can to join every Friday. So this Friday, I'm going to be live on Facebook talking to women. We are going to be talking about everything that pertains to womanhood, on how you can be the best version of yourself as a woman, how you can achieve your goals, how you can survive in this era, how to be a good wife, a good friend, a good mom, everything that pertains to womanhood, even beauty tips, everything. I may choose to bring other women to speak to you people here on Facebook as the Spirit leads, but it's going to be called the Women's Corner every Friday on Facebook and YouTube to be streamed live. So don't miss it. Set on or turn on your notification on Facebook. It's possible to turn on notification on Facebook and even on YouTube. Just make sure you don't miss out on any of the Fridays, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. live on Facebook. So you can set your alarm, okay? When I won't be coming live, I will let you on though. But trust me, women, we are going to learn a lot. I was supposed to do it in my private group, but the Lord directed me that we do it live. So, imagine sharing the word and praying together, learning from each other here on Facebook. It's going to be very, very interesting. So it's 8 p.m. every Friday. 8 p.m. every Friday. The program is called Girls Corner, okay? Girls Corner on YouTube and both Facebook. So I'm excited, women. We are going to be enjoying ourselves. So how many of you got notification for this live session? Let me see it in the comment section. How many of you got the notification on Facebook?